And hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Internet Nobodies podcast. I'm a very tired Freddy, and hopefully everyone else is awake because, I'm just sleepy right now. So let's see who we got with us today.
Hey, it's Pete. And you know what? Some things just shouldn't be adapted.
From the darkest corners of Peru, I am Dale.
And I'm Sibs, and there are far too many live-action remakes of things to ever watch all of them, yet alone enjoy most of them.
And I'm Freddy, and I am the true Donut Lord, and this is the podcast.
Bump.
Alright, so today we are talking about live-action adaptions and just good, bad, and just what the hell were they thinking.
Also, are some things considered adaptions? While writing stuff down to think of...
Adaptations.
Yeah.
And I can tell you what they were thinking. This will make us money.
Yeah.
Well, there are some that I'm not sure if they would be considered adaptions or their own thing. But we'll get into that
Adaptations.
Later, though. Adoptions.
They're live-action adoptions now.
Yep.
Look, you can pronounce the letter A a number of ways. You could
It's
honestly
more,
argue that
it's more the
adaptations-
absence of a ta. You're missing a whole syllable.
Obstinance.
So did you know they're making a fucking live-action Family Guy?
No.
Yeah. Apparently that's happening.
Did they get the real Peter Griffin to do it, or?
Oh, you mean like that cosplayer?
Yeah, that one cosplayer.
Nah, well, it's never going to be that guy. He's spent all of his life adapting for nothing. But yeah, no, they said a while back that they were going to make it, and apparently as of 2019, it is still in the works, according to one Seth MacFarlane.
Bum, bum, bum.
I mean, he has enough money that he could probably just do it, himself.
Literally by himself. It's just him in a bunch of different outfits.
Yeah.
I mean, he does voice like half the characters.
But yeah, I lost interest in that show a long time ago, so I don't care.
Same. Every now and then I'll see some clips online that I think are funny, but I don't think it's worth it to watch the whole thing anymore.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not.
But what is worth watching?
Well, there's
Crickets.
plenty of things. Like, I guess Lord of the Rings is technically an adaptation.
Oh yeah, that's
Right?
true.
Yeah.
It's something you don't think about. You're just
There's a lot of things where you're just like, oh yeah.
Also, Forrest Gump. That's something people don't think about or know.
Oh, that was a book, right? Or-
Yeah.
It was. Apparently, there's a sequel book, which is also really good. But because of 9/11, they didn't make a movie out of it because it would have been too insensitive because it involved the other bombing.
Oh, okay. I thought there was a sequel movie.
No, there wasn't.
Maybe I'm just thinking of the book then.
I think there was
Yeah.
something that was going around the internet recently saying, like, that they were going to be making it.
Maybe
Or
that's what I'm
something.
thinking of then.
I don't know.
Well, they're not, because I think I know what you're talking about, because that video went around on YouTube, and I saw it, and they actually had the people who made it, like the director and the actor and everything. They discussed it, and they were like, yeah, we were thinking of making it, but now it's, like, too late. Like, the opportunity to do it now, it wouldn't fit, like, the style anymore.
Well, that
So
and
they what was that?
that and do you really want to ruin the legacy of a movie that won the Oscar? No.
For money, people will do anything.
Yeah, it's never stopped anyone
Yeah.
before.
That's true, but when it's been so long,
No, yeah, that's why they're not doing it. They said that this movie will probably never be made. which I was surprised about, because I'm sure if they did make it, it would at least, make a decent amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, does anyone really care about it enough anymore to watch the sequel?
I mean, I only saw the first one because it was a movie on a plane that I was on, like, forever ago, and that was the only reason I ever watched it.
Do you know what?
I watched it in middle school.
Yeah,
I
same.
loved it. I was like, this is a great movie.
Oh, I did not love it. I was like, this is okay.
I really enjoyed it.
I love that movie.
I was
I
like,
don't.
I will take a movie over class any day. Not the best movie I ever watched in school, but,
What would that be?
Jaws.
Oh,
Okay.
well, okay.
That's a nice
fair.
movie to watch in school.
Yeah,
I'm
I had a
jealous.
feeling. Guess what? It was my cinema class.
That
Oh,
makes
okay.
a lot more sense then.
And we watched like several movies in that, and for like the last movie of the year, the teacher let us vote, and we picked Jaws.
Which is also a live-action adaptation of a book.
True.
Although everybody always gets what the book is based on wrong, because they don't listen to the author when he spoke. They always attribute it to the wrong thing.
What was it attributed to then?
Well, they always, like, if you ever, like, heard them talk about the movies and the books on Shark Week and all of those things, and just in general, they always attribute it to those bull shark killings in New Jersey back in the early
Okay,
1900s, when the character Quint was based off of, I can't think of the guy's name, but a fisherman off of Montauk who caught a large great white, and Amity was based on Long Island. So, no, based on the Frank Mungus. That was the guy, I think. But it was based off of the shark fisherman off of Long Island, and the shark off of Long Island that he caught, not the shark attacks in New Jersey.
Oh,
So
Cool.
they always get that wrong.
Huh.
but now we know.
Yes.
And now the people who listen to us know. We're now that much smarter. But yeah, so
What's one you got
Here's
for us,
a-
Freddie?
Oh, well, I think Pete was going to say something, so
Oh.
I was about to start, but go ahead, Pete.
I was gonna say, here's a question.
Okay.
I have I only go over one right now, but I have 4 of them written down that I have a question mark next to.
Oh.
That is it actually a live action adaptation, or is it really its own thing? Since the sequel just came out, would you consider Space Jam an adaptation?
No.
I feel
No.
I feel
No.
It's
I feel
not
like
adapting
more-
anything. There's no
Yeah.
source material.
It's
It's an
well, I mean,
unwanted. There's no comic book, no novel, no anything that it's based off of to be adapted from. It's a sequel to a movie that already existed.
I'm not talking about the new one. I'm talking about the
original.
original.
I still
haven't-
wouldn't, because that would be like calling Kingdom Hearts an adaptation of Disney movies,
Oh shit.
Yeah.
which it's not. It
take
borrowed
right there.
from source material that already existed, but it by itself was not adapting a story.
Also, Space Jam
see.
is largely cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there is live action in it.
There is, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
call it a live action. It doesn't focus solely on the live action. If it was like the cartoons are in the real world and it's all like a majority of it takes place in the real world, I would argue maybe.
If
So what about Roger Rabbit?
that's mostly live action with animation thrown in the mix,
So it's not an adaptation.
but it's
its
not
own thing.
adapting
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
not based on
adapting a
anything.
previously
Yeah.
existing story.
Yeah,
Like
it's
Lord of the
it's an
Rings
original
is
movie.
pulled from a book. Harry Potter is pulled from a book. The MCU is pulled from comic books. There's existing source material. Whether or not it follows it exactly, it's still taking from the stories that already
So,
existed and telling
So
those.
with what you're saying, as long as there is something that it's taking information from, it's an adaptation.
Yeah, it needs
Well, that's
to
what
be
an
source
adaptation
material.
is.
Yes, it
Cause-
it has to have
'cause I was-
something that it's based off of, or like so if you're talking something like say the live action Death Note movies, that is a live action adaptation of both the anime and the manga. So it both
Yeah.
had a
Yeah.
written source and an animated source, which were very similar. but they kind of took bits and pieces for where the anime might have differed from the manga slightly to build their final movies.
Yeah, that's where
To be fair, all three of those things had differences in it. Like they had
Right,
at certain
but
points
it's
different
pulling
things happen. But it's
even if you look at the Netflix movie is also a live-action adaptation. It's not a good one, but
No.
they were pulling from the same source material. They shared the same general storyline, the same concept of what the story was telling, whether or not it told the exact same story.
Yeah, those live adaptations of like Death Note, JoJo, stuff like that. That's what I thought you were going for with this topic.
Yeah,
No.
me too.
no. I mean, I did
or like,
write a little
or like the
blurb.
Addams Family.
Yeah.
Yo, I have that. Yo, Addams Family
So
is great.
wait, what are your other two? You said you had 4.
Well, based on the criteria and what Sib said, that's pretty much the answer. Because I was gonna say the Fat Albert movie, because
Yes.
they use Fat Albert and his crew as like the source material,
Yeah.
Right.
but they essentially continue off of it.
Right, no.
because-
But Fat Albert was an adaptation of an animated thing / comic books. It
Yeah, I was
had
gonna say, I thought it
source
was a
material
comic.
that it pulled from. Space Jam took characters from something else. It was not following those characters' storylines. It was using them to fulfill a completely different purpose.
So then Fat Albert would not be an adaptation because that had no story that it followed from the original.
Right, but the original
it's
doesn't
still-
have a running story. It has characters that are put in situations. It's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
kind of like Garfield. Garfield doesn't have an overarching storyline. It's a cat that likes lasagna.
And
So
hates
you have the cartoons that each episode is its own thing. They don't necessarily adapt a comic strip verbatim because that wouldn't work because of how short the comic strips are. But the movies
God, I kinda
don't
want that
necessarily
now.
fully adapt in the cartoon or the comic books. They build off of a character that you already know and what you know about the character, and they put it in similar types of situations. It's
kinda
not. It
want-
doesn't have to be the story verbatim, but it has to be following what you know about those characters. Like Kingdom Hearts is not an adaptation of Disney or Final Fantasy because it's taking those characters, borrowing the character, but not necessarily anything about the character.
Yeah.
So it just takes a generic, just takes someone that for Kingdom Hearts specifically takes characters that we know,
And
but
puts-
they could just be on other characters.
Exactly.
Why,
Other characters.
why don't we
Got
just
it.
take these Disney characters and put them somewhere else?
Exactly.
Exactly.
And what's your 4th? I'm curious now.
My 4th one was Hook.
Hook is
Oh.
kinda.
Is that based
Because
on a book?
No, but it's
No,
based
that-
off of the
it's based
character
on-
from Peter Pan, and Peter Pan is.
It's technically like a sequel movie.
Yeah,
almost.
it's an
yeah, the reason I asked because I've
adaptation.
never seen Hook, so I wasn't sure if there was a book or something. So
No, there
I
wasn't.
wouldn't call it a straight adaptation. I would say that it's
sequel.
kind of extrapolated from something.
yeah, it's just straight up a sequel. That
Because
just happened to
there's
be
not
live
enough
action.
about the character in the story itself for Hook to be just made based off of Peter Pan. You know?
Yep.
All right.
So actually, that being said, I have one that is questionable, but
Go
I
for
think
it.
with our criteria is not. Detective Pikachu,
I had that written down in
Yeah.
here too.
Yes.
because it is
Because wasn't there a
listed-
video game?
There
Yeah,
was a
it's based
Back
off
to the
of-
Future video game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
It
there
was
was.
adapted from the video
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, that was the game that everybody really wanted Danny DeVito to voice.
Yeah.
I can't keep up with all the side Pokemon games like the Mystery Dungeon and all that. I did not know there was a Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still want to play it. Apparently, it's a very short game and very easy, but I still.
I
wanna
haven't
just-
played it either, but yeah, no, that is a full. Obviously, like the whole certain aspects of it are not taken straight from the game.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
but the concept and the general, Pikachu's a detective, that's pulled from the game.
Okay.
But obviously, some of the other finer points, not so much. But yeah, on the whole, that one, yes, that one's an adaptation. Not just because it's Pokemon as a whole, but because it actually came from a specific thing within that franchise.
Dope. Okay, so Freddie, what's one you got for us?
Well, I was gonna say with the Pokemon, keeping on that, did anyone hear the news about the live action Netflix stuff?
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
I'm both excited and terrified.
If they
Exactly.
make it like Detective Pikachu, I'm all in.
Yeah,
Explain.
agreed.
I have not heard of this.
They announced that their Netflix is in early development of a live action Pokemon series.
Man, Netflix is really going crazy lately.
I know.
Yes.
It's okay. Don't take the Coke away from them just yet.
I
It's the
feel
good
like-
type of crazy, though.
Yeah, I feel like the bubble's gonna pop soon, but I'm down. I'm
Yeah.
up for some live action Pokemans.
Yes.
I mean,
Detective
like I said,
Pikachu was great.
It
even
was,
though the-
yeah.
Even though the villain's
Yeah.
plot was stupid.
It was super dumb. But you know what? It's okay, because everything else about it was great.
Yeah.
And it finally answered
They
the
had
age-old...
World Turtle.
That's true, they did have World Circle, and they finally answered the age-old question of whether or not Ditto could be a person.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, they said it was genetically modified Ditto, so you gotta fuck with it a little bit, and then yeah, you can have yourself a human Ditto that you can fuck if you want.
Ugh, I've seen those. I've seen those comics. Ugh.
Oh,
no, I would-
dear.
Like I said, yeah, if it does go the way of a Detective Pikachu with that type of animation, I think it could be good. It just all depends on whatever story Netflix is gonna give it.
Yeah.
Like, it's what I'm worried about with the Avatar series that they're doing.
Well,
'Cause
considering
did the
they,
creators-
considering they scared off the creators.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They backed out, and
They're like, this isn't what we wanted to make.
But they're
Yeah.
doing their
This is-
own thing now, which is perfectly,
Yeah.
perfectly awesome.
yes.
You know what it's not going to be that I really wish it would be?
Mhm.
An anthology series that has like no plot line through it. It's just a bunch of different stories in the world of Pokemon each episode.
Oh, yeah.
I would be okay
That
with
Kind of
would
like
be
yeah.
cool.
kind of like a
but
kind of like a Love
No,
Death
they're
Robot
gonna they're
or
gonna
Black
make their
Mirror.
own little Ash that never ages.
Yeah.
No, that's impossible because live action people can't,
We have
not
power.
age.
Yeah, no, 'cause if it-
Have
if
you
it was
have
like
you
a-
not seen Rogue One, in which they brought Grand Moff Tarkin back to life, despite the fact that the actor's been dead for like 20 years?
Yeah, but that's Disney money. This is Netflix we're talking about.
They're getting there, though.
Yeah. But yeah, no, if it was like a Black Mirror or like a Love Death Robot kind of situation,
Yeah.
but in the world of Pokemon, that would be, oh my god, it would be incredible. But we'll never get that
No.
unless I take over Netflix.
It must be done.
Having a coup.
Yep. Which,
Well, a coup has to be taken down from the inside. This is more of a
Don't worry.
revolution.
I know people.
Oh shit.
I'm joking. I know.
searching job applications, Netflix.
Yes.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Head of the company making an anthology Pokemon series.
Okay, so how about we go for a rather disastrous adaptation?
Oh.
Dragon Ball Evolution.
No! I refuse to put that on my list.
Well,
I saw
Freddie
that.
did say the good, the bad, and the what were they thinking?
It's true.
That's worse than what they were thinking. That's the
set it on fire?
that's the we need the Men in Black to scrub our memories.
Yes.
The only good thing that ever came out of that is watching it at a convention with Kyle Hebert, who does the voice of Gohan and is also the announcer for Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Did he
God,
cry?
that movie.
No, he commentated on it. It was hilarious.
I remember watching that movie in Jen's basement or someone else's basement. I don't know.
It was
a
probably
basement.
Jen. It was probably Jen's. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
We watched a lot of crap in that basement.
I miss
I-
watching absolute garbage.
I waited for it. I didn't see it in theaters. I waited for it to come out like on DVD, and I bought it when it was a bargain bin thing for like $3. And it's the worst $3 I've ever spent.
Yeah, I saw it in theaters.
Oh.
I went with people when I was still in college, and it was just us in a theater. 2 minutes before the show starts, a grandmother and a kid walk in. We're like, it's fucking 9 o'clock at night. What are you doing here? They left like halfway through because we just kind of got tired of all the shit that was happening. It was like,
Yeah.
what was that? Like, you know. They just kind of gave up, and they were just like these nerds and left.
These freaking nerds.
These nerds ruining this terrible movie for us.
What if they also just really hated it?
That could have been it too.
Maybe they
just
wanted
like-
to leave early enough to get their money back.
That's true.
And
I
you
mean,
guys
no one ever
didn't
came in to
think
yell
of
at
that.
us, so.
God, they're like, I don't even. I could write a fucking like 500-page book on what was wrong with that
Yes.
fucking movie.
Yes.
There's just so much wrong. I don't even know where to fucking start.
All of it.
I
Throw
like
it in the
Piccolo's-
trash.
I liked Piccolo's
Literally-
weird, like, right-hand woman who... I don't even know if she had a name.
That one.
Yes, her. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, the weird girl that was just working for Piccolo for some reason. I want a sequel about her and what she did after that movie.
Didn't she die?
Hanging out with Launch. Oh, maybe.
I mean, I don't remember because I kind of
It's- yeah.
tried to
Yes.
remove it. Like, I try to scrub the folds of my brain, but there's some bits left.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. She could be still around, but they'll never get the ability to make a sequel to find out.
No.
No. Thank God.
To be fair, if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have Dragon Ball Super, though.
Yes, we would.
I thought the creator said that he was, like...
No, he got to hear the song F by Maximum the Hormone. Mm-hmm. And that was part of what inspired him to start writing again.
Really?
And that's
Yeah.
explicitly why he made the movie Resurrection F, because a song that is an ode to Frieza made him bring Frieza back.
Oh, Snapple.
Yeah, no, it was the nerds that brought him back
Good.
for good reason.
That's a better reason than what I thought I heard.
Yeah, no. The nerds brought him back. And
The
why-
nerds gave him new life.
Yes.
Oh, her name was Mai, and she was based on King Pilaf's right-hand assistant.
Oh, that's you know, it's wrong. She leveled up in terms of henchmen, definitely. Just doesn't add up though.
I
in my
mean,
brain.
except that Mai is in all of Super and is awesome.
Yeah, but
She wasn't
not
awesome at
talking
that
about-
point, but she became awesome.
yeah, it's really weird though to just see that like future Trunks and her are in a relationship when
When she's like
mentally
5 times his age, yes.
yeah, like she may have the body of
A
someone
child.
his age. No, yeah, at the moment
Yeah.
she's the body of a child, and when they in future version, like she's like in her 20s, and he's in his 20s, but she's at that point probably got the mental age of like someone in their 70s or 80s.
Well, yeah, because she's what, around Bulma's age, probably? Maybe a little older?
No, she was
She's
older
older
than
than them.
Bulma, because when they were kids, she was an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's probably a couple years older than Bulma, because Bulma was a teenager.
Bulma was a teenager, and she was probably in her 20s when you first met her.
Yeah.
I would assume. But we all know how Japan is. For all we know, she was 7.
I mean, no one
So then
has an
they
age
so then
in
they
Dragon
de-aged
Ball.
her and made the body match.
Yeah.
30
Oh,
some
boy.
odd years later.
But
I will
yeah.
say though, like she looks completely different when she became a 20-something-year-old again.
Yeah. Well, she lived a whole
Like-
different life again.
I guess she definitely got hotter the second time around. That's for damn sure.
We all need a second time around.
All right, what's next?
Yeah.
Who's next?
Well, we could talk about more worse
More worse.
stuff.
Go for
Such
it.
as,
Everything done by Uwe Boll.
is that German guy?
Yeah.
Oh
Fuck
my
that
god,
guy.
I didn't even think about it. Like,
I didn't even write anything down of his.
I didn't write down any video game to movie adaptations.
Oh, really?
Oh, I did. I didn't write anything of his
You
because
don't have
I feel like
Resident
it's
Evil on your list, Dale?
I don't know what you're talking about. There's only the CGI movies, and some of those are pretty good.
Did you watch the new show on Netflix?
Pardon? Wait, what?
There's a new Resident Evil series on Netflix.
Excuse yourself.
So I'm gonna be leaving the podcast early today.
Yeah, I think Dale and I have Dale and I have.
No,
something
I already
to
watched
do.
the whole thing.
Oh, all right.
I need a well. You know what, Sibs? Why don't you educate us while Dale and I do some research?
Give me 1 second. I don't remember the name of it. Give me a minute. Yeah, but it's it's animated, obviously. Infinite Dark? No, not Infinite Darkness. That's the game.
No, that is it. It says
Oh,
one
yeah.
season.
Yes. Yeah. Zombies in the White House.
Oh shit! I'll have to check that out. That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
Years
it's
after
not
the horror
bad.
Raccoon City.
I breezed through it. I think I binged it in like an afternoon.
Nice.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
Pretty
I might watch it at
entertaining.
work tomorrow.
Pretty quick watch too.
So, only 4 episodes.
But yeah, so Uwe Boll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that
God
guy.
damn, yeah. And
Remember
then,
that?
Like,
go ahead.
Remember that time
I
he
remember-
beat up a bunch of journalists?
No, he's
Yes.
he's retired, but has since decided to start working again. But he's not dead. Not dead.
No,
do you
he's-
remember when he like tried to have a Patreon to make another movie and nobody wanted to fund it because no one likes his film, so he had a fucking tantrum on the internet?
No, but I'm not surprised.
He's like, I don't have to fucking do this. I have so much money I could live the rest of my life playing golf every day for the rest of my life. And I'm pretty sure the top comment on his video was, "You're the worst German since Hitler."
Oh, Jesus.
Right?
Yeah, that's a
A little harsh, but still fuck
It
him.
is, yeah. But
I wouldn't compare him to Hitler, but I would say he's a piece of shit.
yeah. But wasn't all of his films just like tax loopholes so he can get money?
Yep, that's exactly why he
Yep.
did it, because you don't get taxed on specific filmmaking properties. So all he had to do was buy the rights and make enough money back, and then he kept all the funds.
I
Sounds
forgot
about right.
that in Alone in the Dark, one of the first video game adaptations he did, a band I really loved at the time had a song on the soundtrack.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was Nightwish.
Oh, okay.
Did it change how you feel about Nightwish?
No, because I heard them first and I never actually saw that movie.
Oh, okay. That makes it okay then.
I'm actually looking at the soundtrack. That's a pretty good soundtrack.
Yeah, it actually
I
is
mean-
a really good soundtrack.
Well, I mean, so's the soundtrack for Resident Evil Apocalypse. That doesn't make it a good movie.
No, I'm just saying, just like the song, the band's on here.
Sometimes the best things that come out of shitty adaptions is the music.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, DMC Devil May Cry, the game that doesn't exist, has an amazing soundtrack. But yeah, I remember.
The guys
think I
from
remember
Combi,
watching
the
the
guy from
Blood
Combi
Rain.
Christ did the soundtrack for that Devil May Cry game
Yep.
that you claim doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's a shame it never came out. But yeah, what was it? He did like the Blood Rain movies, which
Yeah.
I
Are a
think I
thing.
remember watching.
I'm pretty sure I avoided them.
I remember watching like Alone in the Dark, but at the same time I don't. 'Cause I'm pretty sure it was on Sci-Fi one night, and I'm just like, I'm bored. And this.
I tried watching like a lot of those films, but like they all have this the similar problem of not being able to keep my attention.
Yeah. But he's just,
Not
makes
good.
films and boxes people when they don't like them.
That was
Yeah.
the shittiest thing. Like, oh, I challenge anyone who criticizes me to a boxing match. Everyone's like, oh yeah, whatever, you fucking joke. And it's like, oh no, actually he, like, is actually good at boxing.
Shit.
Yeah, he actually like, he's not professional, but he's like
He's trained.
amateur boxer. Yeah, he's trained, which even training in boxing is kind of scary. If you ever see someone who is like boxing,
I've been there. I've done it.
I love that one video of I think it's in Turkey. There was like almost a car accident, and it's like 5 guys get out of a car and basically go to gang up and beat up this one dude. But dude immediately takes up a boxing stance and takes out all 5 of them by himself.
That's awesome. You gotta send me that later.
I'll have to find it, but yeah, it's a fantastic video. It might have been like 4, but yeah.
All right. I do want to talk about one adaptation though that I really loved and I waited for about 11 years.
Oh man.
So I had heard I don't know if it's still up. It was an old website. It might still be. It was like futuremovies.com.
Okay.
It was like movies that it was like a website that like had like
what's coming
like,
up? Like
yeah,
things that's in
but
production
like
and
in production or like people who like bought the rights for them
stuff.
and there's no plans for it, but it's like these are like possible movies that are coming out.
Yeah.
It was pretty accurate because it was like, okay, the movie is Alita, Battle
Yes.
which is an adaptation of Battle Angel Alita.
Yeah.
Hilarious enough. So, I was waiting for that for such a long time because I saw it on that website. It said that James Cameron wanted to make that movie, but he wanted to make the sequel to Avatar before that.
Yeah.
So, but then I guess things changed. He never made the sequel to Avatar, and he ended up coming out with Alita. And when I heard that movie was coming out, I freaked out. I was like, oh my god, I forgot this was a thing. And not only that, it was so good.
I still need
The
to
movie's
see it.
so good. Freddie, we should watch that.
Yes.
I just haven't
Add it
seen
to the list.
Oh.
It's so
on the
fucking
list
good.
already.
Well, it
Jesus.
needs
Like,
to jump to
there-
the top of the list.
Technically it is. It's A.
So I went to go see this with our friend John.
Okay.
And I was, because I remember it was coming out around Valentine's Day, and I was like, so I posted on the internet on Facebook. I was like, who wants to be my date to watch this? And then I had like 3 people say they wanted to go see it with me. So I was like, fuck yeah. So we all went, and like John was equally as hyped to see it as I was. He still brings it up to this day, even more than I do. And it was just so good. Like there were parts to that were like almost like wonderful homages to scenes that happen in the animated version. And there was one specific scene that happened in it. I'm not going to go into details because it's a great scene, Freddie. I don't want to ruin it for you,
Okay.
but like I was hoping that this one scene would be recreated, and they did. They recreated it in a great way. Like that was obviously more realistic, and I was okay with it. I was just happy they did it, and I was just like applaud. I was like, this is a fucking great movie. And it really breaks my heart that this movie didn't make the numbers that it should have.
See,
Like,
but the good thing is it was his passion project.
Yeah.
That was not a movie that he made in order to make bank on it. He made
He did
that
'cause he
because
wanted
he
to.
wanted to. So
And
who knows?
you
we
can
might
tell
get
he-
more.
I hope, like, even if we don't,
I mean,
I'm
it might
glad we
take
got
him
this.
50 years, but we
Yeah.
might get more.
Yeah, like, I'm glad we got what we did. I almost didn't expect it to ever come out. It's just a great movie.
Yeah.
Whoever hasn't seen it should watch it.
So I have a question
Just-
because I do want to watch it.
Yeah.
The fuck
So-
is it about?
A battling
All right.
named Alita.
So,
Oh, okay.
it takes place in a futuristic world where humans are pretty much like robots. Like, people can get modified in any way they want, pretty much.
I
Think
want to live in this
prosthetic.
future.
Think where it started out as like prosthetic limbs to replace lost limbs, but then people started willingly having things replaced.
Oh, you mean that thing that I would do if they were like, here's cybernetic eyes? I'd be like, give me.
Exactly.
Yes.
I will fight
You would-
whoever I need to.
Yes. So that it's pretty much that. And like the main character is Alita, obviously, but she has like no memory of herself. And she seems to have fallen. She's a already robotically enhanced person. But one of the main characters found her in a garbage heap, which comes from this upper city that everybody wants to get to because it's supposed to be considered like a haven.
Think like FF7, how they have the
The plate.
the slums and the plate.
Yeah,
Kinda
okay.
like
Yes.
that. Except
So
that nobody from the bottom can go up to the plate.
Yes, at all. It's like almost like a mystical land.
Yeah.
And she seems to have fallen from that place. So, but she has no memory of anything that happened. But she's like torn apart, and one of the main characters finds her in like a dump. So he rescues her, repairs her, and, you know, essentially adopts her as his daughter because he lost his own daughter. So, and she ends up, like, learning about life in the slumlands, and she really gets into this one sport. Like, imagine rollerball, except you can kill each other.
Thunderball.
So rollerball.
Yes.
I just imagine, I think I've shown you guys the movie before, Better Off Dead.
Yeah.
It just makes me think of that line where he falls into the garbage truck and you see two black guys repairing like a telephone line. They just look down to the garbage truck like, oh man, you see that? Someone threw out a perfectly good white boy. All I imagine is man finds his woman. She's like, did anyone misplace? Anyway.
But yeah, like I'm just gonna sum up like the majority of the movie is her
I want to watch it, so.
No, yeah, it's just her learning about who she was and like learning about the world. And there's a lot of action. The movie looks fantastic. It's just like beautiful, like the animation, like the 3D and everything, like looks like it's a part of the world. It's just great. It's a great
cast
movie.
was really good too.
Yeah, so good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna go into much more. Everyone should just watch it.
Yeah,
it's a great movie.
I'd be
Lots
down
of
for
action.
a movie night.
Yeah, totally.
Yes.
Also, bounty hunters. Just throwing that out there.
Oh shit! Everything's better with bounty hunters.
Yeah, that's why I figured I'd just throw that little tidbit. Bounty hunters.
Yes.
Bounty.
You know what the Mandalorian needed? More bounty hunters.
Shit. That Dale, be careful. That would have made it a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah, we can't have that.
Yeah.
So I have a really good adaptation. Unless someone else has something.
Go
No,
for
go
it.
for it.
No, yeah, you got something. Say it.
Sitting with a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Fancy.
Oh.
A gritty reboot or adaptation of a beloved childhood thing.
Paddington Bear.
Paddington Bear. Yeah, dude. Because I've seen the first movie. It's actually really good.
I'm pretty sure the second one had a 100% Rotten Tomatoes score for a long time.
A very long time. Paddington 2 at 100%. It is now fallen from grace at a 99.
Yeah.
I have never seen it, but Rob Lowe doesn't shut up about it sometimes.
It's really good. So for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's literally like there's this British geographer who goes to the darkest recesses of Peru and discovers intelligent bears. And he's like, hello, what's this? Talking bears. And he teaches them English. And because he found these bears, he was like going to shoot one and then bring it back to London for like examination. But then like another bear like lowered his gun and like picked a deadly scorpion off of his jacket. And he's like, my God, this bear saved my life. And so he befriends these bears and gives them names. He names them Lucy after his mother. Mm-hmm. And the male one he names
Chuck.
Pastuzo.
All right.
Which was the name of an exotic boxer that he met once. So I love that.
Okay.
I'm gonna name you after my mother, and I'm gonna name you after a guy I met one time.
Yeah.
That could be like a hidden little thing about how he doesn't care about his father.
Yeah, I like to imagine that. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I named a new species of bear after you. What'd you get, Dad? Nothing. So yeah, he goes back to London, and before he leaves, he tells the bears, like, if you ever want, you're welcome in London. Because as you know, if you save a British person's life, you're basically a hero in London. Yeah. So like 40 years later, these two bears are taking care of their nephew, who is an orphan, and Pastuzo dies, and the aunt is like, you should go to London because we have like friends there, essentially. So this bear heads off to London, and
how does this bear have a passport?
No, he literally like smuggles himself onto like some storage ships or something, or cargo ships.
Stowaway.
Damn.
Yep. So he ends up.
That's some That's some Yogi Bear shit right there.
So he ends up in London where this British family is like, hello, what's this, a talking bear? And they name him Paddington after the station that they find him in. And they're like, so what's your deal? He's like, oh, well, I'm a talking bear from Peru, and, my aunt and uncle, like, once saved this British dude. And the father's like, I don't believe a word of this talking bear. But you can stay with us for a day until you figure out where you're going. And
it's like, I don't believe this bear at all, but you can stay with us. That's cool.
The British are unflappable when it comes to supernatural occurrences, but I mean, that is a pretty ridiculous story. So yeah, it becomes all about Paddington avoiding Nicole Kidman, who is a exotic taxidermist who wants to kill him and stuff him.
That's fucked.
Yeah. And he ends up...
kind of fucked, actually.
Yeah, it actually really is. That's why I said it's a gritty adaptation, because it starts off with, like, his uncle dies, he's an orphan.
So it's a Disney movie where they killed the mother.
Yep.
No, the father's dead this time.
I know,
uncle.
because it's also not a Disney movie, but Disney movies kill mothers all the time, if you're saying that it's...
They kill families like it's going out of business. So yeah, it's all about him avoiding Nicole Kidman, and also at some point, like, she tries to capture him and he accidentally starts a house fire. So the family doesn't like him anymore, and he's like, I'm sorry, but, like, Nicole Kidman tried to kill me. And
Damn Nicole Kidman.
yeah, it's a delightful movie. It's pretty funny. It's just really charming. And then the sequel came out, where, I shit you not, it's his aunt's birthday, so he wants to get her, like, this exotic book. Mm-hmm. And as he's about to buy it, the shop that he's in gets robbed by someone who's after the book, and he gets framed for the robbery and goes to jail. So it's literally Paddington in jail while the family from the first movie is trying to free him. Like, they're investigating this robbery, trying to prove that Paddington's innocent. And the entire time he's in jail with these inmates who, like, he improves their life. He's like, oh, like, I can teach you guys to cook and stuff, and, like, I can make the food better and blah, blah, blah. And these inmates are like, oh, Paddington, you're the best. You've made jail so much easier. But you know that your family's gonna, like, forget about you, yeah? And then sure enough, while the family is, like, investigating this, like, criminal, they miss, like, a meeting with him. He's like, oh my god, you're right. So he joins his friends on a prison break. And Paddington breaks out of prison. And the rest of the movie is him on the run from the police. It's nuts.
This is a deep movie, man.
It's fucking crazy. Oh yeah, also the guy stole the book because it has, like, it's essentially national treasure, where it's like, yeah, this book has a secret, like, map to, like, this incredible treasure. So it's also just, a fucking...
What is Paddington based off of?
I think it's like a
British
series of novels.
book series, I think.
Yeah,
I
okay.
used to
I was
have
gonna say, 'cause I've never-
have a stuffed Paddington bear after we went to London when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's a series of books about this, talking bear that loves marmalade and lives in London.
Think Winnie the Pooh, but British.
So yeah, that's Paddington. Apparently, it's just, like, the best. Also, apparently, they're making a third one.
Oh, really?
I'm not surprised.
I mean, with how successful it apparently is,
Yeah.
why wouldn't that?
Yep. Paddington 3, Pastuzo Rising. I don't know.
All right. So, Fredward, you got one for us?
Yeah, I can think back to, like, the first one I ever saw in theaters, Flintstones.
Oh man, I think that is an interesting one to talk about, only because I didn't know how to process it as a kid. I was like, wait a minute.
Why are they real people?
Give me back the
that's
animated movie. Give me
Yeah,
back
I
the
was like, what is this?
Wait, is
like,
that the one with Rosie O'Donnell?
And
Yes.
John Goodman. Yeah.
Oh god.
I was just so confused as a child because I think it was the first time I was really understanding that something that was once cartoon is now live action, and I don't think my child brain could process it. Not properly, anyway.
Yeah, that was a good one. I kind of remember it, but I mean, I remember the sequel more just because of how horrible it was.
Yeah.
That one was.
Yeah,
Was
that
that
was
was that
a
Rox
movie.
Vegas or
Yes,
something?
Viva
Yes.
Rock Vegas.
Yeah, I don't remember that one. I must have blocked
For a
it.
good reason.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, unlike most people who remember terrible things, I'm the opposite. I don't remember terrible things because I don't want to remember terrible things.
Terrible things sometimes leave a better, more of an impression on you because you're just like, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but at the same time, it's like if I don't enjoy something, I don't want to remember it.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
I have limited RAM in this brain of mine. All right, it's hard to process these memories. The storage space is also getting quite low.
Yeah.
Oh, also, real quick, the villain of Paddington 2 was Hugh Grant, which sounds familiar.
What is he doing?
I don't know
he was
why
the
I know
thief?
that. Yeah, he was the bad guy.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it was a cast of who's who in London again. So
Yeah.
aside from what's her face, because she's Australian, but yeah,
Yes.
Oh, Nicole Kidman.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like southern London, so you know.
I mean, it was a prison colony, so.
Very true.
Yep. And look how many good things we got out of that prison colony.
Hey, what's your guys' opinion on the Doom movie with The Rock?
I never saw it.
I've never,
Yeah, I never
seen
saw
it.
No one here has seen it.
Nope. That should give you a good idea.
Okay. So I've seen that movie a few times. I'm pretty sure I own it, actually. I kind of like it. Like, people say they hate it, but what is Doom the video game if not just one guy running around shooting people? I understand there's no quote-unquote Doom guy in the movie, but I like what they did with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, because it's like it's not like demons from hell, it's aliens. That's probably why people got really mad.
Yeah, I mean, that's dumb.
Could-
As we all
but
know,
the whole
demons
thi-
are real, aliens are not.
Exactly. So, like, the whole thing is like people discovered a warp that warps people from Earth to another planet.
Okay.
And it turned out that there was life on this planet at one point. Like, they've dug up like fossils and stuff of people, human-like things, and they don't know what caused them to go extinct all of a sudden. Like, it's like they had like history, and then all of a sudden the history just dropped off, like nothing. So they thought there must have been a cataclysmic event, but it turned out that part of the human population mutated, like, because they were so advanced that they like had the ability to change themselves, like, but half the population advanced into like superhumans and the other population devolved into like the demonic creatures of Doom.
Okay.
So when they start experimenting with the DNA and stuff, again, the scientists and the soldiers start coming across, monsters, and yeah, it's just that they spread like almost like parasites, because they'll like the monsters will kill anyone who would normally turn into a superhuman, or if someone's genetics will match, they'll take them away and turn them into monsters themselves. And it's weird. It's weird, but I love how weird it is. And it's like, and they have one section that was really awesome, where it's like it was the video game, because it took the main character of the movie, not Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, as you would think, and they have a first-person view of him because he gets separated from everybody, and he like wakes up and he's like, I gotta find my sister. So he like it's like first-person view, like a video game, and he's just like, it's like someone's doing a run-through of Doom in live action. And I thought that was really fucking cool. Overall, I'd give it like a 6 out of 10, but I love that 6.
Okay.
I
Maybe I'll
forgot
watch
that.
it eventually.
Rampage got a movie adaptation, because I think I mentioned it on a previous episode.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we
Yeah,
did. I forgot about that.
That movie was pretty good.
I still need to see it.
Didn't that also have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson
Yes,
in
it
it?
did.
Yep.
All video game franchise movies now need the requirement of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
I mean, I wouldn't complain. He's in everything anyway.
He looks like a video game character with how muscular he is.
That's true.
I mean, yeah. He's
Oh.
in Jumanji, so he is a video game character.
What are some video game movies that you want now starring Dwayne Johnson?
Well, you know what? We could put him in a newer and better Resident Evil. He could be, if we give him some more hair, he could be Chris and punch boulders all day.
That's fair, yeah. You know what? I won't even complain. I'll take it. Silent Hill
All right.
starring Dwayne Johnson.
Oh my god. Like, I don't think that would work as well. Like, because I feel like for a Silent Hill movie, which also what we should go into in a moment, you would need someone who's more timid. Like, because Silent Hill, I feel, is at its best when it's breaking down the psyche of the person who's in Resident Evil.
Yes,
he would-
Silent
I
Hill.
mean, not
Because he
Resident Evil,
was-
Silent Hill.
Because he would
Silent
just
Hill, yeah.
break the pyramid people.
Yeah, and guess what? We're never
Yeah.
gonna get a good intellectual Silent Hill movie. So let's just go for fucking
Yeah.
absurdity.
Well, I thought the first Silent Hill movie was pretty good. Like, you can, like, the even though they used the mom instead of the dad, like, for the main character, like, the scene where they introduced Silent Hill changing was like almost a 1-for-1 recreation of the video game's opening,
Yeah, no. As much as
with
I'm
like
not
the
a fan,
camera angles and what.
the first one it's fine.
The
I'd say
second
it's
one is
good.
where it's garbage, though.
Oh, let's not talk about the second one.
Yeah.
I mean, I already ranted about it in a previous episode, where they're just
Yeah,
like,
the only-
it's an ancient Indian burial ground. I'm like, fuck you.
It's like,
And
shut up.
Everyone that died
If
lived. and
I
everyone
want
that
that,
was
I'll watch
supposed-
Poltergeist.
Exactly.
Seriously.
They moved the headstones, but not the bodies. But yeah, the second one where it's just like all the characters that were supposed to live die, and all the characters that were supposed to die live. I'm like, why? Oh, because
it
Jon Snow is the love interest. Okay, even though the character that he's portraying is the creepiest, sleaziest, worst person in the world. But
Yeah,
no,
it
let's
was
make him
garbage.
sympathetic.
He's a garbage.
I'm just mad it didn't include my favorite line in the game, which is the scene
Yeah.
where the guy that Jon Snow is portraying, Heather, shows up, and I think his name was Vincent or something. He's like, "What took you so long? I've been waiting for hours." And so she's like, "Sorry, there was a bunch of monsters in the way." And he just looks at her horrified and says, "They looked like monsters to you?"
Oh my god, yes!
And she starts to retch because she thinks she just killed like 30 people. And he's like, "I'm just joking." I'm like,
oh
"Yeah,
my god, yeah.
I'm so glad they made that guy the love interest."
Yeah.
The existential dread.
Oh, there's a great old Tumblr post that I have favorited, which has a GIF of Heather in the middle, and it's a 3x3 grid of GIFs, and Heather's in the middle with that line being played, and all around her is a bunch of monsters. And I'm just like, oh, it's so good. But yeah, what else people got?
Casper.
Casper?
Casper. Do you not
I don't
remember
know what
the?
she's saying.
Do you not remember Casper the Friendly Ghost?
That's what I said.
Okay.
Casper?
Oh.
And you like
You're-
Asper. And I'm like,
Yeah,
You were getting cut off.
we heard
Oh,
Asper.
sorry.
Yeah.
that's what I asked. I'm like, Casper?
that's the adult
I was
version
like-
of Casper.
So yeah, you want to talk about Asper?
Yes, Asper. So obviously it started out as the comics and you had the animated stuff, but that live action adaptation with Christina Ricci, so good.
I didn't actually know that Casper was anything prior to the movie.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was like a Sunday
Yeah.
comic.
Yeah.
I don't.
He's what?
I don't
It's not
re-
Archie.
Casper
Is
the
Archie
Friendly
Comics?
Ghost.
Was it in the papers?
It says it was
Yeah.
a Harvey Comics character.
Pretty sure it's in the papers.
Never read it. Didn't know. Sorry, I'm illiterate.
He was featured in
That's fair.
55 theatrical cartoons made between 1945 and 1959, and
Well, I'm
featured
sorry I
in
wasn't
comic
there for
books
during
since
that time frame.
1952.
I'm sorry I wasn't there in that time period. But But no, as far as I know, Casper the Friendly Ghost only existed in a movie.
Yeah, so he started out as a comic and cartoon character by comparison, and they made that live action movie nice and creepy and dark for a kids movie.
Oh
Yeah, people dying.
Yeah, didn't he die of, like, pneumonia in that? And that's how
Yeah.
he became a ghost.
Yeah.
And the dad dying
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
because he fell down a manhole.
Was that the one, or am I thinking something else that had the guy from Monty Python in it?
Yeah, he was in it.
Okay, so what's that one? Okay.
Eric Idle, yeah.
Yes, I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah, he played the attorney.
Yes. Did they get killed at the end of the movie, or she did?
The girl did. The woman
yes.
got
Woman.
killed.
The woman
The woman
died.
killed herself essentially.
Because she was trying to do the whole immortality type thing.
But when she got what she wanted, her spirit was able to move on, and she
Yeah.
didn't want to.
Yeah.
But then she ended up moving on anyway.
Yeah, I think she. Yeah, she dies, and because she tries to kill Eric Idle's character
Yeah.
by running him over, but then she dies.
I forgot who was the alive version of Casper for that 5 seconds.
It was the
Kid,
guy
was
that
it the kid?
Devin
the kid from Home
Sawa
Alone?
from Final Destination.
Oh, Devin South from Final Destination. Mm-hmm. I couldn't say I know who that is. I thought it was someone else.
Never seen Final Destination?
I've seen Found.
I have, but I don't know anybody.
He's the main male lead that survives the whole movie.
Okay.
Well, I know. Okay, so then
Yeah.
as far at least until like a sequel, I'm assuming.
Well, considering the only character that was in the sequel was Ali Larder, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff.
Yes.
We
What
talked
else
about
we
Detective-
So-
Okay, I was gonna say we talked about Detective Pikachu, but we didn't talk about Sonic, did we?
No, we
No,
did
we
not.
didn't.
'Cause
There
Sonic-
a
Get
reason
another
to.
movie.
What was that, Dale?
What?
I said, is there a reason to?
'Cause it was
I
good.
mean,
It was.
Oh,
it was
was it?
alright.
I mean,
I enjoyed it.
considering the amount of flack that the studio took from what the movie originally looked like, that they then went back and reanimated the whole thing.
No, I remember
That
that
alone
but, like,
deserves to be talked about.
Oh, weird. I didn't
Yeah.
hear. I barely heard like anything when it came out on whether or not it was
but-
good, so I just assumed it was bad.
Oh, no,
It was
it
good.
was
It's
good.
getting a sequel.
Yeah.
I mean, I really wish that they could go to Sonic's world. I'd prefer that. But the movie itself, for what it was good.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
I feel like
Just-
James Marsden is very good at interacting with characters that aren't there.
Yeah.
He does it a lot in his career.
Well, when you grow up talking to yourself, like I did.
Dale, you'd be perfect for a movie starring a CGI character.
Yep.
I say we get someone on the line, and we'll have you in the next Scooby-Doo.
I was gonna say
some live
actually,
actions.
that was actually what I wanted to bring up.
There's a good
Okay.
segue
Fucking-
there.
Yeah, with a 5% of my power. The guy who played Shaggy. I get blanking on his name right now.
Matthew
Lillard.
Lillard.
Yes,
Lillard or
Matthew
Illard?
Lillard.
Lillard.
Lillard? Okay. For some reason I always think it's Illard. I don't know why.
Because
Yes.
he's sick, bro.
Because he's the
Those live
illest.
action movies are fucking wild. Like the fact that there's a scene where they all swap bodies and Shaggy's like, "Yo, I'm gonna check out Daphne's tits."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, and the fact that Scrappy is the villain.
Yeah.
That
They
is
knew
what
who
really.
their audience was.
Yeah.
Not
totally.
only Scrappy was the villain, but it was Scrappy inside Mr. Bean's body.
Yes.
Oh my god, I forgot it was Mr. Bean.
Originally,
That-
if what I read was correct, that was supposed to be Tim Curry.
Oh my god.
And the only reason Tim Curry didn't do it, because he didn't like Scrappy. He's like, change Scrappy to someone else, I'll do it. They're like, no, it has to be Scrappy. He's like, then I'm not doing it.
Oh, that's such a
God.
shame. That we would have been
Because
even
he's a huge
better.
Scooby-Doo fan.
And I'm assuming he don't like Scrappy just
No.
because it's Scrappy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Because
never
who
really a big
likes
fan of
Scrappy?
Scrappy. I was
one
never
likes
really a
Scrappy.
big fan of Scrappy either. But I did like a lot of those like one-off movies that he was a part of, like Scooby
The
Doo
Witch's Ghost,
and
right? The Witch's Ghost?
well, I was gonna. No, that doesn't have Scrappy.
no,
I was gonna
thought
say
I
that.
thought you meant Tim Curry. Sorry.
Oh no. I was talking about like I don't like Scrappy Doo, but there are some like one-off movies involving him that I like Scooby Doo and the Curse of the Werewolf, or Scooby Doo and the Ghoul Brothers,
Boo Brothers, I think it was.
Boo Brothers. That's probably what it is.
Scooby-Doo and the Boo Brothers, it's right there.
Right. Then the other one is Scooby Doo and the Ghoul School. That
Yeah.
too. Like I love those one-off movies with Scooby, Shaggy, and Scrappy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
'Cause the
you're
whole
not
thing
really
is, like,
supposed
I
to
hate-
like Scrappy. I don't think you're
Was that-
supposed to like Scrappy.
Well, I don't like Scrappy's personality, but he's like the character who he's the Deus Ex Machina for a lot of those movies. Because if he wasn't there, then Scooby and Shaggy wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, if you have a bunch of movies without the rest of the cast, then Scooby and Shaggy are gonna get nothing done.
Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
they're just gonna get high and eat Scooby snacks.
Yeah.
All day.
It's like
And
an episode of Mystery Inc. with the end of it's an animated one from Scooby Doo. They're in like a hall of villains, and like they're walking around. It's Fred and Daphne, and it's like all different villains, and they come up to like, no, we don't talk about him, and it just pans over, and it's Scrappy. It's like we have made it a thing to never talk about him again.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck was the point of that character. Like everyone, like even as a kid, I hated Scrappy.
I think it's because it was like the ratings were starting to decline. They were just like, let's bring in Scooby's family because they
He
had
was like the cousin, and they introduced him to the Brady Bunch.
No, he was his nephew.
No,
Uncle
yeah.
Scoob.
She was talking about the Brady Bunch character.
Oh.
That they introduced a new character to shake things up, and everybody
Yeah.
hated him.
You know, they tried to like bring in like Scooby's family and everything, and it just
Doesn't
did not
work.
No,
Nope.
they brought in like his cousins and all this stuff, and they were just like, there was like a redneck Scooby Doo. There was like a prim and proper one, and it was just like, what are you doing? Just
Oh, I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one. Yeah, you're not Snoopy. You can't just be like, here's all of Snoopy's family.
yeah,
It just doesn't work.
I feel like it works in a pup named Scooby Doo in like isolated episodes.
yeah,
Oh yeah, I like the pup named Scooby Doo.
yeah.
Me too.
I kind of prefer
That's
it
not
to
an-
the actual Scooby Doo.
It depends. Some episodes definitely outdid older Scooby Doo episodes, but I think Scooby Doo as a whole is better than a pup named Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
I can acquiesce to that.
Yeah.
So another adaptation that was adapted into a movie and a game, Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh yeah.
That was a good movie slash
yeah.
comic slash video game.
Yeah.
I wasn't too big on the change to the ending with canceling the fight. Wait, actually, it's been a while since I've seen it, read it.
With Nega Scott.
Yeah.
I said Nega, N-E-G-A. Just want everybody to know. Because the last time I discussed this with Roblo, he's like, "What did you just say?"
Of course.
And
I mean,
But
it is
yeah,
Rob Lowe.
Yeah, there was
yeah.
that minor change that I was like, it's fine.
yeah,
We
like
don't need
on its
another
own.
fight
Well, the whole
scene.
thing is they were in the production of making it when the comic was still being made, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Oh, was
I
it?
think only 3 volumes
Yeah.
were out of 4 volumes.
So they didn't actually have an ending, so they had to make their own.
Oh yeah, because they also just completely skipped over the twins.
Yeah, they just had them like for like 5 seconds.
Who, if I
do
remember,
like that.
in the comic were actually really cool.
I still need to read that.
They like summoned like a weird like techno dragon or something, or like a hologram of a dragon or something. It was cool.
They do that in the movie as well.
There's 2
But
of them.
then
but
you-
it's a double dragon.
Oh God, you're right.
Yeah.
Did you never realize that?
No. No. Would you believe me if I said no?
Yes, we do believe you, but that's
Yes.
all right.
I should reread
As-
that.
As,
I'm getting it
as
mixed
stated
up.
before, I do love how in the original release, which is in black and white, there's this one panel that's just like they make a joke about something, about colors and stuff, and then there's a little note. It says, "Note to self: this this comic is in black and white. And then they came out with the colored compendium, which like had all of the comic in color now. And then that one part is like, no, this comic is now in color.
I like that.
That's awesome. I should reread that and also rewatch that because it was a fun movie. I love how there's like so many people that don't get the point that Scott is a piece of shit. And
that's the point.
There's so many people that went over their head. They're like, oh, he's such a loser, and like I don't get why anyone likes him, and he's dating a high school student. It's like, yeah,
exactly. That's the point.
It's like, the point is that he's a piece of trash.
Like who exactly? Who in their right minds dates a high school girl unless you're trash, or if you're also high school?
Because they kind of don't go into it in the movie, and that's my one fault with the movie, if I'm remembering correctly, is that there is a part where like everyone just straight up calls out Scott of like, yeah, you, because there's all the times like when he thinks about like his past girlfriends, like when he was dating Envy, it's like, oh yeah, everything was great, and then things changed. Or like when he was dating Kim Pines, it's like everything was great, and then it changed. And everyone towards the end is just like, no, Scott, you were never a good boyfriend. You were a narcissistic asshole.
Yes.
I don't remember that being in the movie.
It wasn't that.
Which I feel like that really is probably why it flies over everyone's head.
The closest thing they tried to do for something like that was when he quote unquote dies and like has the revelation in the game over world.
Yes, you're right.
And he's like, I feel like I learned something. It's too bad I can't use it because I'm already dead.
But yeah, like in the comic, it just shows flashbacks where it's like, no, Scott was a terrible boyfriend. But yeah, there's only so much you can do in a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially.
I mean,
when
if
it's
they
only
came out with like
one movie.
Extended
I was gonna
cut.
say if they made like a Scott Pilgrim like a series, like maybe like a 5 or 6 part series, that would be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could like go into detail with stuff.
They did a great job.
Someone get Netflix.
Get on it, yeah.
I'm pretty sure Netflix is still smoking the coke. Is that what you do with coke? I don't actually know.
Yes,
they're snorting coke.
You smoke coke.
You drink
I don't
PCP.
do drugs. I don't know.
Yep, gallon of
Down a-
PCP.
But yes, I'm pretty sure Netflix is still doing that cocaine. We could probably convince them.
My favorite line in the Scott Pilgrim movie is after he dies and they go through the scene again. There's that guy who in the first time the scene plays through where he throws open the door to the room. And the guy's like, yeah, the movie's not as good as the book. And then in the second go around, the guy's like, yeah, the book isn't as good as the book. But,
Yeah.
Fuck, I need to reread that now.
Yeah. I actually sit down and read it.
Okay.
I think we got time for one more discussion.
I
if,
got
somebody
one.
wants to.
Yeah,
Oh,
take
go
us
for
home,
it.
Sibs.
Battle Royale.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that Japanese movie?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes, and that's also like one of the movies that kicked off the battle royale scene in video games too, right?
And movies, yeah.
And movies.
And
yeah.
movies.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think it was. What was that one game? What was it? PUBG? Is that the one that really?
Yeah,
started?
that's the one that that and the culling.
I don't even know what the other one is. I
Yeah, I
never
know what that
liked
is.
those games.
Yeah.
So
The culling, the first one was pretty good. I never played PUBG, but I hear that's what like really skyrocketed it
Yeah.
because of people watching it on Twitch and stuff.
Yeah, tell us about Battle Royale, Sibs.
So, Battle Royale is basically a gorier and more awesome version of the Hunger Games. In that they basically it takes place in a time where Japan has decided that they are not happy with how the youth of the nation are behaving in terms of showing respect to their elders. So they've
Okay.
decided to teach them a lesson by forcing one class of middle school students every year to be dropped on an isolated island destination to fight to the death. To teach
Nice.
them respect.
And
And
instead, they really just got a bunch of sociopaths.
exactly.
I was gonna say, how do you learn the lesson if everyone who did it is dead?
Well, because it's televised.
Yeah.
Shit.
It becomes a national event, and the students that are selected don't know until they are dropped on the island unconscious.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it basically
So-
starts off with this one class that are going on a field trip, and they wake up in a classroom with collars around their necks, being told that if they try to remove the collar, it'll explode. If they don't follow the instructions of the game, the collar will explode. And if they do not have only one survivor by the end of a 3-day time period, all of the collars will explode and everyone will die instead of there being one survivor.
Yep.
Oh my god. I watched a movie that was almost exactly like this, except it was an American movie, and it starred Stone Cold Steve Austin
The
in it.
Condemned.
Yeah.
But so
think
This
I've
sounds
heard of
this sounds just like that,
It was a
except it was
WWE film.
adults.
But so the students are given a bag of survival items. So they're given like a loaf of bread, a couple of bottles of water, a compass, I think like a flashlight, a couple of other things, and a weapon.
Which can be anything.
But like somebody gets like a pot from like a lid from a pot, from a kitchen cooking pot.
Whereas someone else will get a fucking crossbow.
Or somebody gets like a rifle. There's
Or,
all sorts
or
of...
a hand sickle.
Or
Does it-
there's a
so
girl
does
that
the
gets a bottle of poison.
Does the weapon is the weapon like right near them, or do they have to go and
It's
find
in the
it?
bag.
It's in the bag.
So they're given a backpack with all this stuff in it.
So
and
they're
so-
essentially rigging this thing.
So-
Then whoever gets the AK-47 is probably gonna win.
Not necessarily, because some of these students are dumb and some of them don't want to kill anybody. So they're all let out of the classroom one at a time so that they can get away from each other, because the island is segregated into zones. So they're
Yeah.
all given a map and they're told, okay, every 12 hours part of the map goes away. And if you're in that area and you don't get out in time, you're dead. So as time goes on, they're constraining the map and forcing the kids closer and closer together.
Oh yeah, this is definitely PUBG.
Yeah, it's where they got the idea from.
Yeah. So
I'd like to think that at the end of this movie, the lesson is that if everybody just chose not to kill each other, they all would have been let go. I'm
No,
assuming
they all
that's
would
not
have
the
died.
case,
No.
though.
So-
I know. I understand that.
Well,
That's
no,
what they
because
told them.
what you find out is that it's really their teacher's revenge on them, because the person running the game that year is a former teacher of this class that they terrorized.
To the point of where one student just straight up ran up to him in the hallway and stabbed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, fuck these kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, so some of the kids are awful.
There's one kid who, like, he requested to be there because he was the victor of a previous game.
No. The victor of the previous game was forced to be there. He didn't want to
Oh.
be there. There was
I'm
a
thinking
kid,
of something else.
There was a kid who moved to their school because he somehow found out that their class was the one that was going to be selected,
Yes.
and transferred into their class because he just wanted to go and murder everyone.
That's who I was thinking
Wow.
of. Because, yeah, then
Yeah.
there's the other one who won a previous game. Yes, you're
Yeah,
right.
so
Wow.
there was
Fuck-
this kid
fuck
that
these
transferred
kids.
into their school like 2 days before they were abducted, and then a winner from a previous year was basically told, "Yeah, no, you have to play again."
Question. What
Yeah.
was this adapted from? A comic
A book.
or a book?
It was a
There's
book, then it...
there is a novel. It was also adapted into a manga and an anime series. I haven't read the
manga's
manga
way
or
more
watched the
brutal.
anime series, but the book is really good.
The manga's
How
like...
old is the anime series? I've never heard of it.
Well, the movie's from like 2001, so probably in a similar time
2000.
frame.
2000.
Yeah. So it's probably from a similar time frame, but I don't know that they actually finished the anime series. I think it's like one of those
I
ones
didn't
that
know
just,
there was an anime.
Yeah, I've never heard
I
of
didn't
it.
either.
So they probably haven't, because I've never heard of it.
Sorry, apparently Siri decided I was talking to her on my watch.
But yeah, like
You tell her to keep out of this.
because I've looked up the differences between the manga and the movie, and the manga goes into a lot more detail because it's straight up an adaptation of the book, so they have more time. They had more time to
flesh out.
Man, it's more fucked up than the movie, and the movie's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Like there's straight up a part where like one of the students who's like more into the battle royale, I think she got like a good few kills. There's straight up a part where from a memory from her childhood where she comes home and her mom is just like head down on the table, like 5 bottles of alcohol around her, and she's like, "I'm so sorry, sweetie," and she goes into her room and there's this like creepy older dude.
Yeah, she sold her daughter into
like to get fucked. Yeah. By like just creepy old dudes. And like in the manga they talk about it way more.
Oh god, they went into more detail.
They didn't show it.
It's more of why she is so willing to do what she is because of what's happened to her. Because she's a survivor. So she's willing to kill her classmates that she's known since kindergarten because she's been through such horrible things, but she has come out the other side every time.
Like there's straight up a part where she finds like one of her classmates alone and like seduces him and then like slits his throat afterwards.
Yeah. There's also
he's just like oh yeah, that was great, and then she's like, I have a sickle, by the way, and just cuts him.
There's also a couple that I guess they'd been dating for like years and decided that they couldn't live without each other, so like they kill each other.
Wait, they each killed each other, or they didn't kill themselves?
Like mutually assisted suicide, like they killed each other.
I think in the movie they jump off a cliff together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that would be more like easy.
Yeah, they jump off a cliff.
It'd be really hard to stab each other in the face at the same
But
time.
I think one of my favorite things from the movie is the girl that gets the poison is her weapon. So like some of the students, because they don't want to kill each other, they just kind of like hole up somewhere with their little friend groups. And she holes up in this lighthouse with her friends, and this other girl, I think, joins them, and she's not somebody that's like normally part of their friend group.
I think it's the girl that seduces people, right? Or was it a different one?
I think so. And the girl with the poison puts the poison in the food that she's going to be serving this girl, because why have somebody that could potentially be a risk to you and your friends be allowed to stay? And it turns out that the poison was in like everybody else's food because she's an idiot. So other people in her friend group start dying. And then they're like, somebody poisoned us. So they all start just killing each other. And I think the only survivor is the one that she was trying to kill in the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Stupid kids.
I mean, they're under a lot of stress, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's...
One of the best things
the
about that
person
film, though.
Yeah. But the person that wins gets, like, never-ending notoriety.
I don't want that.
But apparently, notoriety, but not the inability to be re-brought back.
No, but I think that's the first time that they brought somebody back to play again, because I think they were trying to make it more interesting.
I mean, the opening clip of the movie is like, it was a younger generation too, because it was like a 10-year-old girl or something that won.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think the class that plays the game in the movie, I think they're like 7th graders. They have high school students playing the game, but in the book they're 7th graders.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
So in the movie, I think they're supposed to be 10th graders, but in the book, I think they're 7th graders.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, but best thing ever. So you know how obviously like there was the Death Note live action movies, there was the Kaiji movies, the Kenshin movies. Well, the same guy is the star in like all of them. It's all Tatsuya Fujiwara. He's the main character in Battle Royale. He played Light in Death Note. He played the main character in Kaiji.
Oh, I was gonna say
and he was Makoto Shishio in the Kenshin films.
Okay, I thought you meant the teacher in Battle Royale, because he is in a ton of stuff.
Yeah, the teacher in Battle Royale is in a lot too.
I think he was in Yakuza.
He's Takeshi from Takeshi's Castle.
Yeah.
Yep. I think he was either in Yakuza or the spin-off Judgment.
Mm.
Yeah,
yeah.
He's beat Takashi.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the same. Right. But yeah, you were gonna say, Freddy, the best thing in
I was
Battle
gonna say,
Royale.
best thing about it is beat Takashi.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's fucking, MXC.
Best line in the movie. Best line in the movie. Those are some good cookies.
Yes.
I just love it. I don't want to say too much. Pete, you haven't seen the movie, right?
We need to make Pete watch it.
All right. I'm not going to say.
I don't know.
But it's
I don't
basically
know.
a much more graphic version of the Hunger Games without the love triangle.
Yes.
Oh no, I don't know. I don't know if I can handle graphic.
It's not that bad.
No.
Well,
It's a bit bloody.
Some of it is.
Because I remember seeing Hunger Games in theater with our friend K2, and he was like, because he read the books, he's like, oh man, like, you know, blah blah blah, and I'm like, yeah, it was just Battle Royale. He's like, what's that? I'm like, it's literally that movie but better.
And
he's like,
also,
like, no, I'm like, so we made him watch Battle Royale, and he's like, okay, that was really good.
also, Pete, Asuka's voice actress is in it.
Oh, it's still not enough to really sell me on stuff like that.
We'll watch it. We'll marathon it. We'll watch Alita. You'll watch Battle Royale.
Yes.
I'd rather join you in watching Alita.
Oh no,
You say you didn't have to watch it. We just watch both of them.
Yeah, we'll watch it together.
Oh.
We'll do it
Double
back to back.
feature.
Yeah, double feature.
You know what? As long as Spice World isn't involved, I think I'll be okay. Freddy keeps scaring me.
I did.
By whenever I go to his house, he just tries to put on Spice World.
Freddie, I need you to recut Battle Royale so that Spice World starts playing in the middle of it.
Okay.
He should do so. He should do it so the training video girl introduces Spice World instead of the instructions for how to play the game, because
I
the training
love that
video
trope.
girl is Asuka's VA.
Okay.
Yeah,
It would be
Pete.
perfect. Have Spice World introduced by Asuka's VA.
Yeah, Pete. There's this scene where they're like, so what's going on? And they play this video where this like super bubbly Japanese girl, who I guess is Asuka, with like a hard hat on, is explaining what's happening in this game, but she's talking about like these bomb collars that are gonna kill him, but she's like so upbeat and doing all these like gestures.
Oh
She
my
is
God.
so excited about this game that they're
This-
going to play and that they're all going to murder each other.
Yeah, like you've seen Japanese
sounds-
commercials where they're like,
No, I was about to say this sounds like a Japanese commercial.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
like where they're like,
100%.
yeah, they're in front of like an infographic and they're making all these like super bubbly gestures. Yeah, imagine that, but talking about exploding people's heads.
Yes.
Okay.
She's one of the most entertaining parts.
Yeah.
I guess we
Because
have
she's
missions
so
now.
atypical.
So yeah, that's
All right.
I think it's
Uh,
about
that's-
that time.
Yeah, I have a lot more we could have gone into, but
Yeah.
another
Make a
time, I
sequel.
suppose. We keep saying that about everything. Have we made a sequel to anything
No,
yet?
it's season 2.
not yet.
Season 2, damn.
Yeah.
Maybe
Whatever
season
that
That's
will
like-
25 by the time we get there.
be. Yeah. All right. So I want to thank everyone for listening or checking out the YouTube page, whatever you're doing. And yeah, follow us on YouTube, iTunes. We're on Podcast Addict, and we're on Spotify.
Anywhere
All the
podcasts are
places.
found.
Whatever. We're on
All the
different places.
places.
I think we're on
We're
Spoofy.
Everything.
I think we are. Yeah. And
Anywhere podcasts are found.
Pretty much. So I've been Freddie.
I've been Pete.
I continue to be Dale.
And I've been Sibs.
And what do we always say? Don't get eliminated. See you next time.
Oh, I had a panic attack almost. I'm like,
I was about to say, we have a thing we say?
I'm like, what's our sign off?
What will be the next movie that Uwe will be making? How much coke will Pete need to buy Netflix in order to get the Scott Pilgrim series off the ground? And how old will they be when the new Alita sequel comes out? Maybe 50? 60? 70? Find out next time on the podcast.